The next myth we're going to discuss is at the address position to try to form a straight line between your left arm and club shaft, or trying to put your hands ahead of the ball to ensure a crisp contact. If you step up to the ball and think that your hands are supposed to be ahead of the ball, when you do that, you're moving your upper body spine angle to your left side, which is going to encourage your left shoulder to drop and cause all kinds of problems in your backswing. The other thing that happens is if you start with a good grip, and I have the face in a square position, if I move my hands forward, the face of the club would naturally open as I move my hands forward. If I let the club open as I move it forward, I'm going to counteract that by taking the club and turning it in to where I think it's now square. The unfortunate consequence of that is that if I come back to the square position, the face of the golf club is dead closed. This is something that's happening at least 50 to 60% of our students that we see week in and week out. If you start the backswing, your address position with your golf club closed, it causes all kinds of problems in the backswing, and then it's going to completely stop you from a free release through the ball, because if you let the club swing freely, the ball is going to go left. So it starts to encourage very much of a blocking position. You look at the top players in the game, you'll generally see the shaft of the golf club and the club in a relatively straight position, not pushed way ahead. Now, if I stand in this position with my shaft in the proper place, the butt end of my club is just on the front side of my zipper, okay? At this point, I am now in a square position with the club. The face is square. Now, we will see some optical illusions as to where the hands look more forward and back looking at top players. What do I mean by an optical illusion? Well, if I take myself here, and let's say I move myself more into Jack Nicklaus's address position, where his spine tilts more to the right, you can see that as I do that, that makes my hands appear farther forward. Conversely, if I went forward with my head, now my hands appear to be more back. I'm not moving my hands, I'm moving my torso. So if you see a player on television that looks like his hands are forward, his hands aren't forward, his upper body is tilted more back. And if you look at somebody that looks like their hands are back, it's because their body is more forward at address. So what you want to remember is that your address position is an address position. It's not trying to emulate impact. There's no other sport that I know of where you try to emulate impact at your address. You don't see a pitcher start like this, even though that's where they're going to be when they throw the pitch. At address, we're trying to get balanced, athletic, relaxed, and in a position of readiness. We don't want to jam our hands ahead of the ball.
You're watching Vegas Sports.